moving from Leederville to Joondalup was probably never going to be an easy decision.
20,000 fans jammed Leederville Oval today to give an emotional farewell to the home of West Perth for nearly 80 years. It was a day of mixed emotions as supporters saluted their heroes of the past and then cheered home today's team to a minor premiership. The banner echoed the thoughts of the thousands of West Perth supporters on a sentimental day. Nothing went wrong for West Perth, and the supporters showed their appreciation as the players departed Leederville Oval for the last time.
You know, the first game here was 10,000, cars everywhere, people everywhere, an amazing atmosphere and a really strong win.
I do remember, you know, post-game and the people being there, and it felt like new beginnings, but it was also probably a pretty sad time for, you know, we're 130 years old and we'd spent most of our life at Leederville Oval, so it was also a sad time that, you know, people were travelling out to the suburbs when they were so used to their routine.
Look, 94 was one that probably got away from us as a playing group. We led easily at half-time against East Fremantle in that prelim final and you know, had a lot of ball but didn't put the scoreboard pressure on, and then they got a bit of momentum in the third quarter, got over the top of us and then beat Claremont in the grand final.
In 1994 we had a great season and we lost a preliminary final after kicking about 5 goals, 16 in the first half, and absolutely dominating. It was probably the most devastating loss I've been involved in. They all hurt, but this one had a lot of pain attached to it.
And then 95, I remember bits and pieces of it, you know.
That year was interesting. We started really, really well in 1995. Yeah, we were winning a lot of games early and big games, and then we had this downward spiral in the middle of the year. We lost 4 or 5 games.
Game out here in particular, we didn't kick a goal in the first quarter against Perth. And from that point on, we were playing some really good footy, and the second semi was a 1-point win. And from a personal point of view, I was very lucky to come into that grand final team.
Might be West Perth out first. It is. Darren Harris and Paul Mick coming out the Falcons. The crowd erupts. Subiaco on the over at the same time. 2 great teams in the WAFL this year. They're the best 2 teams, there's no doubt about that.
And again, to beat Subi, who just dominated the competition all year, we were the underdogs again, you know, and it stands true today. In my whole time at the West Perth Footy Club, we've been the underdogs. No one ever gave us a chance to win, except ourselves and our supporters.
As a player, you know, in only my second season of senior footy or league football that year, I just remember sort of walking into the change rooms before the game, and there was a real calmness about our group, and that was, you know, we were really well led by Darren Harris, who I remember looking him in the eye before the game, before we ran out, and I almost just had this feeling that we were going to win, and I just knew he was going to have a great game because he was just so focused on the job at hand. And then, yeah, obviously running out that day in front of, I think, 32,000 people was probably the highlight of my career, and the way we won and the way we beat Subi, you know, it was a fantastic day and something that'll stick with me forever.
The snow's got a race on. There it is! West Perth have won the grand final for 1995. Darren Harris, a very proud captain. West Perth's first win for 20 years. Harris, congratulations.
But that would be the start of an era. 1995 was the start of an era, but it started when Geesh turned up. It was building that self-confidence. It was the loss of 94 that really drove us in 95 to not want to feel that again and to win it.
Great game. Proud moment for John Dimmer and Darren Harris. Standing here.
And then on booze you hear, that's the big woof they give for Paul Bifka's raking left foot kicks. And isn't he happy?
It's tremendous, mate. To come out here and the boys had the week off. We came out, we watched the AFL guys that had a week off and came out, they destroyed their side, so we followed that as that was our motive.
Frank put up some vision that I saw last year of us on the stage that was out the front there, and I do remember, the people here, the atmosphere.
It was euphoric, really. I remember there probably would have been 5,000 people back at the club that night. The club had a stage set up out in the Oval.
Every player got up and spoke on the truck that night, which was quite inspirational. Everyone just talked about things like mateship and their family and what the West Perth Footy Club had done for them, and we all felt like we owed the footy club and it was a chance to give back. So it was a really start of an era and the start of something that would go till today, I reckon. You win in 95, you win in 99.
Yeah, 1999, it's just a great win, that one. We were coming up against South Fremantle, who were aligned with the Fremantle Dockers, so, they had a lot of AFL, I guess, talent in the team.
In the 99 one, I was back home coaching at the time, but I remember watching it and just thinking what a great group of mates those blokes were. And the ultimate underdogs. Like, if you looked at those two teams on paper, how does West Perth win? Well, they win because of the spirit that they had as a group of men.
The day itself, it was just a great game of football. I mean, it had everything. It was tough. It was in terms of some of the hits, some of the matchups. The gut running that was required.
To win in 95, 99, and 2003. Put us up with the best clubs of that era in the WAFL.
With Perth beating Souths for the first time this season and when it counted most, the Falcons by 25 points.
To my players, that was 4 quarters of fantastic persistence under very trying conditions.
Very tired into my career. It's been the best of blokes. The guys just fantastic today. When it's crunch time, they really put their heads down, and it's just amazing how they just finished off.
West Perth finishing the century with one of the club's greatest wins.
Well, I'm extremely humble. When I went to Polly Farmer's funeral a couple of years ago, and you look at this great man having a state funeral, and you think, geez, I'm actually coaching the same club that he coached, and you actually have to sort of sit back and sort of take that in. Some of the great legends that have been before me. So for me, there's times where it's a really humbling experience. Other times you're just in the moment and you're just working, and it's a footy club, and you're trying to lead the players to that premiership. We spoke a little bit as coaches. I would love nothing better than to be up here on the Saturday night of grand final and be sort of comfortably drunk, just sort of over in the back corner, and watching young men just celebrate. And that feeling that I know comes with winning a premiership. So that's sort of what's driving me at the moment.
Yeah, look, it really was almost a turning point in my life, being made the captain of the West Perth Footy Club. When your peers vote you and you love the place you're playing at and you love your footy club. I never felt alone in that job. There was a lot of really great leaders in 95, really great leaders across all lines, across all levels. We had a lot of good men. A lot of them have gone on to coach and in leadership roles still, and have been, really successful in their lives. So for me, it was just this building of my self-esteem, and it was an absolute honour. The word humble gets used a lot, but when I was told I'd be captain of the West Perth Footy Club, I knew that I was going to have to do a pretty good job of it.
As a player, when you first come into the West Perth Football Club, for me it was as a very young man. One thing that strikes you is the history of the football club. So to be a part of that, to be a part of our club and its history over 130 years, it's an honour. It's something that I guess I've always tried to just do the best I can every day. You don't want to let anyone down when you're part of West Perth. You just want to do your job the best you can, and I think that's something that basically all of our guys that put on the red and blue jumper try to aspire to do, and that's what makes the place such a great club.